Good morning, everybody. So this morning I'm coming to you from our Manly studio, and behind me is normally our very bright pink active mum wall. And I'm coming to you today to share, I guess, some news which is sad and hard, but it is the harsh reality of these economic times at the moment. So as a business in a lockdown, here in Manly, we only opened 6 weeks. We only opened the Manly studio 6 weeks before the first lockdown hit, which meant we had 6 weeks of business operating. We were then closed for 4.5 months, back opened for 3 months, and then we hit the Northern Beaches lockdown at Christmas, where we were closed for another month. And then back open another 3 months, and then we get hit with the most recent lockdown in June, where we're still closed. And so what that means for a business is that you are paying rent and overheads on a premises that you can't use. And everybody says, yeah, but isn't the government helping businesses? And they are. We live in a very, very, very lucky country where we have had support, but the harsh reality is that when we are closed, whilst we are getting some of our rent waived, we also have a portion that we still have to pay back. And so what that means is that each time there's a lockdown, we're incurring debt, which then when we reopen, we need to pay back. And so what that looked like for us here at our Manly studio of Active Mum, it looks a lot different for Bella Vista because it's a long-standing business, whereas in Manly it was relatively new. So what that looked like and what that meant was that when we do get to reopen this time around, which even if that is the end of October, which they've sort of started to predict now, what that means is that as a business, even with our waivers and deferrals, we will owe our landlord $28,000. $28,000, and we only have 1 year left on our lease here in Manly, so because we've been closed so much, and the landlord will be moving into the premises with their business at the end of our lease, so there's no option to extend. So what that means is that we will reopen at the end of October with a debt of $28,000, which we need to pay back to our landlord over a period of a year, on top of our normal rent. So as a business owner, that's crippling. That is really, 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 really stressful and really, really, really hard to do. And prior to going into this lockdown, some of that financial pressure was already creeping up on me, and I was actually starting to lose sleep. So we've come into this lockdown now, and that situation has just gotten a whole lot worse. So here in Manly, what we have decided to do, our landlord has very kindly offered to let us out of the lease and let us out of our arrears, so that they can utilise the premises, and what that means is that we'll save that $28,000. So I've had to make a really hard decision to vacate the Manly studio. What my plan is that we will exercise outdoors for the next couple of months. Well, once restrictions lift enough for us to be able to do that, we'll operate outdoors while we sort of gauge what's going to happen with the world and with the with the pandemic, I guess, and then we will get a new premises. We'll set up a new premises again in Manly and start again. But it means that at this point in time, it's just not viable for this business to be, I guess, incurring debt for a premises that we can't operate out of. So that is the decision, that's a very sad decision that I've had to make here in Manly, because this was my dream studio, looking over the ocean front. And the harsh reality is that in the year and a half that we've been here, we have actually been closed for 8 months of that year and a half, which is, it's really tough as a business. Businesses are meant to be able to do business, and ours just couldn't, being in the fitness industry. So that's the plan here in Manly, is that you will we'll still be doing all our Active Mum programs. They're currently running online, so we're supporting people all over the world, and I guess that's a blessing of COVID, is that it has made me put my programs online. And so now I'm supporting people in the UK, the US, New Zealand, everywhere, which is really awesome. So that's a really cool thing, is that people can coach with me now anywhere in the world, which is fantastic. Our clients now, whilst we're in lockdown, everyone's doing it online, and then once the studios can reopen, Bella Vista will reopen reopen as normal. Manly will spend a couple of months doing it outside, and then once we gauge what this pandemic's going to do, then we will get a new studio and kick off again. But I just wanted to, I guess, bring you today, share my sad news, because as my active wall came down, it does make you a bit teary. It's I spent a lot of time and energy and effort building this thing, and to see it all come down is quite hard. But it's not the end. It's just a different change of direction while we gauge what's going to happen and take some of that financial pressure off. But just so you're aware, there are a lot of businesses that are going to be in the same position as me. A lot of business owners are finding it really, really hard at the moment. And whilst the government says don't panic, it's really hard not to, because the harsh reality is when our businesses reopen, that we do have work to pay back for the time when we were closed. Just wanted to share that with you. If you want to coach with me at the moment, join me online from wherever you are. We're helping pregnant women, new mums, mums with older children, lots of programs going on online. And then once these restrictions lift, we can get back in person, which will be amazing as well. So take care, have a great day, and do support business owners wherever you can. Be it online at the moment. Because behind every business owner is generally a passionate story. It's generally a mission that they're really passionate about and is dear to their heart. And it's so when when I close a studio, it's not about the physical premises. I guess it's about the story behind it, and it's a place where people come for community. And that's the biggest thing is it lights me up when I see. The mums walking each morning with their prams, or the pregnant women community. So that's the hardest thing. So support business owners online where you can, and just know that soon we will be able to have these restrictions lifted and we'll be able to get back in person. We at Bella Vista or here in Manly Outdoors, otherwise online for those that are local to us. Take care. I didn't think I'd get teary, but I always cry. Take care, have a great day, and keep supporting businesses where you can. Bye-bye.